My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full UFC fight cards every single week, giving you our picks, predictions, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And if you want 50 free dollars, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 different betting partners who all offer their own promotions, their own matches, and their own giveaways. And then on top of that, after you sign up and after you make a deposit, we send you $50 however you want it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, wewantpicks.com/bets. Next up at UFC 275, we have Jake Matthews taking on Andre Fialho. Andre Fialho is 16-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off 2 first-round KOs in a row. Jake Matthews is 17-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a submission loss to Sean Brady a year ago. Jake Matthews, he is coming back after that year layoff. He's a well-rounded guy with solid wrestling, very good grappling, and a nice striking variety. He works angles well and has no problem mixing up body shots and headshots. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight, but the dig on him is his fight IQ and his willingness to trade punches when he should wrestle or grapple when he should strike. Andre Fialho, I mentioned this before, he's becoming the post-COVID Khamzat because of how quick he's turning around for these fights and how willing he is to fight anybody. He is a striker. He's got a really nice double jab, heavy leg kicks, and solid takedowns when he needs them. He has legit power in his hands, which he showcased in his last 2 fights with first-round knockouts over Miguel Baeza and Cameron Van Camp. He'll mix up inside and outside leg kicks really well, and he uses those often. His issue, though, is his defense needs work. He's very hittable against Michel Pereira. We saw that in his UFC debut, and if you go back to PFL, he was blasted and dropped quite a bit there. And it's an interesting fight because I am not as high on Fialho as most people are. I think he's, obviously I mentioned how hittable he is. I think he's a bit overrated. And how hittable he is going to catch up to him. Michel Pereira more than doubled his strikes. Cameron Van Camp, who was knocked out pretty early, landed more strikes than Fialho did in that loss. And if you watch PFL fights against Chris Curtis lit this dude up, just lit him up and did whatever he wanted
Action man. The action man, Chris Curtis. That's my dude, Chris Curtis. If you're out there, big fan.
He does watch the channel, and he gives me a hard time every time I break him down in his fights. But anyway, Chris Curtis lit up Fialho, and I wanted to pick against him here because I cannot wait to cash on an underdog against Fialho. We're going to get some stupid line on him, and I can't wait to play the other side. I just don't think this is the fight for that because stylistically, though, Jake, if he sticks to a wrestling game plan, he can do it. We've seen Fialho taken down in other fights. He can do it. I don't trust his fight IQ. I mentioned earlier, he strikes when he should grapple. He grapples when he should strike, and he may end up striking here, and that's not something he should do. I'll check out the weigh-ins. Maybe I flip, but right now I am going to stick with Fialho, but I'll tell you, I don't think he's a parlay piece. He's overrated, and this is a much tougher fight. These odds aren't as wide as I thought they would be, but this is a tougher fight than a lot of people think. So I don't think he's a parlay piece, but I do think Andre Fialho wins. What do you think of Jackie Boy?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised too. I figured that the next fight that he was going to be added to a card after those big knockouts, he was going to be at least a 2-1 favorite. So I mean, these odds seem kind of crazy to me a little bit as well. I think they're actually right, but I thought that it would be a little bit wider is how I should say it. I put a bet on this fight. It's minus 155 for does not go the distance. So I'm covered either way. I agree. I think Fialho is a little bit overrated. He gets hit. And unfortunately for everyone he fights, Fialho's best advantage is the best thing that he has going for him is the fact that he gets hit because people start overextending, and that's where his counters come in. And if you watch these guys fight and you watch the last Fialho fights, he catches people with these left hooks. They overextend. They're hitting the guy. It's not like they think they're hitting the guy. They're hitting the guy. I mean, Cameron Van Camp made him do the chicken dance in that fight. He was running away from Cameron Van Camp. Cameron Van Camp got a little overconfident, just like Miguel Baeza got a little overconfident, overextended, and those left hooks are there. Boom, right on the button. Counters perfectly. He waits for you to make a mistake. He doesn't mind taking shots. He waits. He gets the timing. The second you overextend, that left hand is there. And if you watch Jake Matthews fight, I watched a couple of his fights. what he needs to do in this fight, and it's hard to change what you do. He's not going to do it. But if you watch Colby Covington fight, when he fights, his right hand is glued to his chin. He fights like this. It is right here at all times. If you watch Jake Matthews fight, when he's fighting, his left hand, it's not on his hip. He doesn't fight hands low, but that right hand is low. And when he overextends, he does not bring that right hand up. And what's on right there? It's going to be Fialho's left hook once again. That's what worries me. I think Jake Matthews, he's not, I don't want to say he's like super live, but I agree. He has an opportunity in this fight to use his grappling, even in the striking. If he can use good footwork in and out, not stay in the pocket, he can even win the striking exchanges, right? Because Fialho does get hit. You mentioned the Michel Pereira fight. Outstriked 112-48 against Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira is in and out, bouncing. He's hard to hit. You have to be hard to hit against Andre Fialho. Unfortunately, you mentioned Jake Matthews, fight IQ, right hand low. It's just a bad combination. I got to go with Andre Fialho until he proves me wrong again. So I'm going Andre Fialho. I don't disagree with people that want to play the Jake Matthews side, but I mean, he's just knocking everyone out. I got to stick with him.
I think we're 4 fights in, and there are 4 very easy arguments to make for the underdogs. And we have a donation from Joe Rogan's forehead wrinkles. Thanks for stopping in, Joe.
Where does Joe Rogan's forehead stop, do you think?
What?
Where do you think it stops? You think it stops here?
Okay.
You think it stops here?
These are the things? These are the things you say?
It's an honest question.
Thank you very much for the donation. It's appreciated, and Jacob needs it for his rent money.
We're getting close, guys. We're getting close.
Yeah, it's almost there.
The worst thing that would ever happen is I have to sell this Ryan Hall card to pay rent. Nobody wants that. So please donate so I don't have to sell my Ryan Hall card.
Correct. Nobody wants that. Absolutely 100%.
The signed Corey Sanhagen, future champ. Huh? I don't want to have to sell this stuff, guys. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new.
Anyway, DraftKings pricing. We got $8,500 for Fialho. Listen, if you think he does it again and he just continues to ride this train, then yeah, 100%. Spend that $8,500 in your DraftKings lineup because it's absolutely worth it. Jake Matthews, 77. He's live with those takedowns. He's live. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't know if either one of them will be in my DraftKings lineup. I do think Fialho wins, but if that dude gets taken down and hangs out on his back the whole time, that's not going to be shocking.
He's in my lineup. I'll tell you that. I just looked at my lineup just to verify. Right now, he is in my lineup.
All right. Well,
him and Dana both. First round top guys. Chasing him.
We'll see what happens there. Then we have the Monkey Knife Fight strike line. 52.5 strikes for Fialho, 61 for Jake Matthews. What do you think of that strike line?
I mean, it could end up being more if Jake Matthews bounces around a little bit. Fialho does get hit. It's just whether, in my mind, Jake can survive, wait for the big shot. Because Andre will be patient, right? I mean, he does have those. Last fight was a first round knockout, but Baeza was what? It was at least second round, right? I don't know if it was third round. Yeah, so he will take his time and wait for that shot. So this could add up quickly. I think it's probably a more.
Yeah, it may be a more because one is very hittable, and if Jake Matthews gets a takedown, which he may. Those strikes will add up as well. And when you get the grapplers, the strike counts tend to be a little higher because when they're against the cage defending shots, Fialho's just doing little pepper shots against the head. When they get the takedown, Jake Matthews is getting some shots in. So check that out. WeOwnPicks.com/MKF. It is daily fantasy. All you need to do is say more or less on these strike lines, and you can triple your money. And if you want $50, WeWantPicks.com/bets. You sign up. You make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeOwnPicks.com/bets.